So it says here in your bio ka ng advocate for better cities, 'di ba? Can
Yes.
you can you talk about that? How did that come about?
Okay. I think I can share this on how we started the Baktas Tindak Society lang.
Mm.
Um, are you familiar with the ano, the bridge issue, the one where the governor did not allow people from walking and using bikes across?
Yes,
Are you familiar? Yeah,
ni join ko sa
yeah, yeah.
the
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 ride,
ride,
the ride.
the ride. Oh,
Yes,
katong protest ride, the protest ride.
yes. I joined that too actually. So
Mm.
it started there. I was so noisy in Facebook back then. I just kept on making noise, and then I realized
Yeah. Oh,
maybe
it's
I
just
should make a
sorry,
page.
sorry, Dal. Let me just kind of for the viewer lang so that they can understand. So
Okay.
the in the bridges
Okay.
katong because there were people who were kanang jumping off the bridge, diba? And there was one
Yes.
video
Yes.
where one of the people
There-
who jumped off the bridge can he bike siya padung adto and then he jumped off and then somehow along the way they made a rule that you cannot bike through the bridges and then totally ignoring all of the people who bike commute from Mactan to
To
Mandaue or Cebu
Mandaue.
City. No, ignoring
Yes.
that
Yes.
fact na lang yun, somehow equated the suicide to people on bikes, which is anyway. Oh, so kana.
Yes.
So that's where
That's
BTS.
the reason.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's
So it's also sad because they disallowed people from crossing the bridge by means of walking and biking, and then there wasn't any option given. So it really made me frustrated. So I kept on making noise in Facebook, and then eventually I realized maybe I should write a page so that there's a proper that's the venue that I'm going to use to keep on making noise. It was actually called Carbon Footprint Reducer during that time. It wasn't BTS Plus pa. So fast forward, during COVID na, I noticed. I mean, we all noticed the surge of cyclists in the roads. And then this wasn't only happening here in the Philippines; it was worldwide. And then me and my friends, there's three of us. They're also architects and planners. We kept on having these conversations, individual conversations. It was Mark and Darren. So I messaged to Mark, and then we just keep on. Actually, our convo in Messenger, we're just all rants on how on how the
uh,
government is addressing everything, and the same with Darren. So we realized that I think it's maybe we can do something about this. So we finally created a group chat, and then we decided to go on further and make a page. But since I already had this page, the Carbon Reducer the page, we just used that page because there was already a few followers. I think around 200 or 300 people. So we changed the name to BTS. It was just BTS without the plus. So B for Baktas, T for Tindak, and then Society. And then later on, there were people asking, how about us, kato mga nag-skateboard or mga nag-scooter? And then we also noticed that there's this BTS Korean group, and then we might get bashed for using their initials. So so we added the plus, and then the plus also represents some other things like being environmentally responsible, the trees, even pets. We can talk about pets. So plus is a big addition to the name BTS. So going back to the cycling advocacy, the BTS. So during the pandemic, there was a surge of cyclists. So I think it's high. So we talked about making a proposal, even just highly conceptual, just to steer things up to get people's attention. So we came up with this cycling network. It's called the Imaginary Cycling Network for Cebu City.
yeah, that's where I
So
first.
yeah, I think we shared that. Yeah,
Saw you guys like somebody we had like with a bike group and then they shared that there. And when I looked at it, kanang Russia, it made sense ba? No?
Yeah.
I just want to point it out kay like I actually really thought it was well done, honestly. By
Thank you.
kudos to you
Thank you.
guys. No, kanang murag, it showed. So I've been commuting with a bike for a while here na in Cebu, like the past 2 or 3 years, and then prior to that, nagsigiro kog auto. But then ever since I started commuting with a bicycle, it made me realize how small Cebu is,
Yes.
no?
Yes.
And
Yes.
like
We
kato
really
sa
pointed that.
yeah, 'di ba? So like kato
Mm.
sa una, like if you wanna go to downtown, maghuna-huna kag adto with a car, kapuya that's like that's 2 hours of my life. Di na gid na
And then
madali pag
parking.
ko di ka ka-park ana. And then I realized kung nagbike ko, wow, 15-20 minutes kanang that's dugay na ganina. And then so you
Yes.
showed yun nga katong especially when you did like a 2 kilometer radius, you had a map there. You showed that a lot of the a lot of the places that are uh, high volume or commuters go or high volume of people, they're all within a 2 kilometer radius. And it made it very clear ba. Sorry, I just
Yes.
wanted to make sure nga, you know, kanang that I wanted to make sure I got to tell you nga, I think that was a really good idea, no? That
Yeah.
what you guys
Yeah.
did. So you guys made that imaginary bike lanes nga post, 'di ba? Like infographic.
Yes. We really did it on purpose na mura siya child friendly. I mean, we talked of Barney, and then the colors were just so
Yeah.
vibrant and everything. So yeah, well, we made the 2 kilometer radius circle, and then in that circle, you can already fit in the IT Park, SM, City Cebu, um, downtown Colon. So it was really Cebu City is really compact, and then if you can even walk if you want to, but yeah, that's another problem, our sidewalks.
Yeah.
So so that's another totally another conversation for the sidewalks. But anyway, we further broke down the 2 kilometer radius, and then just distributed, yes, the one that you mentioned, the high volume pedestrian and vehicular traffic areas. So from there, we connected it with the bike lanes. It's pretty straightforward. We just use the major roads because I think it's what cyclists also use. We actually referred to Strava for that one, the
Mm.
heat map in Strava. Yeah, it showed that most of the streets that were used by cyclists were, yeah, the major roads. And then Strava may be a an app used by mostly by recreational cyclists, but I think it can also be applied to those who are doing bike to work because there are not much roads to use naman here in Cebu City. We have the super blocks with no, it's not really porous. So what you have to do is you really have to go to the perimeters of those blocks. So yeah, we used that. We just connected it, those major areas, and then extended it to the areas where there were mostly residents, and then maybe do a bike highway. Just it was purely conceptual. Everything was purely conceptual, and then yeah, we got noticed. I think the first one that we were asked to present to a councilor in Cebu City. So it was well received naman. So but here's the thing about present this is general. Here's the thing about presenting and then you might see na they are supportive of it during the presentation, but you can really get to see how supportive they are after those presentations. Once you do make those follow-ups on what to do next, sir. Asa naman ta, sir? Unsa naman natong buhaton karon? I think that's the full extent of their support. You can see that you can makita nimo. Hindi ra lang
Uh,
makita tanan.
yeah, kay